Hello everyone, welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin and today we are going to be diving into your dreamscapes to be seeing what's showing up in your dreams, what your dreams are truly trying to tell you and convey to you, and what hidden symbolisms and meanings are showing up there and why. So let's go ahead and dive right on in. Alright, so welcome back, my beautiful kindred spirits and everyone else who is joining us here today. We are going to be starting to dive into your dreamscapes, like I was talking about at the beginning, with not only your dreams, your daydreams as well, the dreams that are still yet to come in, but we're also looking into, most importantly, your higher self and the messages that are coming in within your subconscious mind. So if you guys are excited, then feel free to grab some water, some tea, really calm down with me because this is ultimately about your subconscious mind. So to dive into that, it's really important that you get into like a calm state right now and really allow what comes in and really be open to this reading and see what comes in for you, as I really do think that's going to benefit you most within this reading. But before we start looking into these piles, I do want to let anyone else know who is new and just joining me here for the first time that I do a lot of other types of readings here on this channel, ones that are on your monthly kind of check-ins as well as 2-week check-ins, and I do some magical videos too, but ultimately I love to do the timeless readings like this one. Some are on your spiritual and magical gifts and abilities, what makes you most attractive, your other hidden talents, and also love readings and other things too. So there's a lot to dive in here. It's a very inclusive channel, so if you're interested in joining in, then feel free to subscribe to this community of kindred spirits. But we're going to start looking into these piles. So here for each of the piles, I decided to use different, like what I call a personified dreamscape for each of you. So feel free to really use your intuition and really dive into these messages, possibly pause if you need to. But here with pile number 1, we have the dark dreamscape. That's what I'm going to call it, not because it is dark, but just because it is a darker ink than the rest of them, and so that we can differentiate them in the piles down in the timestamps. But this is pile number 1. For pile number 2 here, we have this one here, which I'm going to call the lightest dreamscape. Feel free to really see what your intuition brings in here. And then finally here we have the third dreamscape and the third pile, which is the medium dreamscape. So those are the 3 different ones that you can choose from here today, but we're really going to settle into each of these and really let your intuition shine. So go ahead and take a deep breath together here with me, and we're going to really connect to your intuition here now. So let's go ahead and take a deep cleansing breath together. And as always, there's no right or wrong way to choose your piles. You are welcome to choose all 3 piles, 2 of the piles, 1 pile. You can choose a pile, change your mind, flip-flop as you need to. There really is no right or wrong way. Just have an open mind and see what comes in for each of you. But if you already know which one is kind of calling out to you or which ones are calling out to you, then feel free to go down in the description below where you can find the timestamps provided for you, as well as within the chapter marks of the video. But if you are interested in getting a private reading with me for love, for career, for spirituality, or even within your own dreamscapes, even further into this, then feel free to check in the description below to see the different ones that I do. My absolute favorites to do, and the ones that most people tend to get really excited to do with me, are the ones that are snail mail readings, where I actually send a letter in the mail with your reading that is typewritten on a typewriter, a vintage typewriter that I love. So it has an old feeling to it. It's really exciting to get it in the mail. It's got such a pen pal vibe to it. And then I also have other magical goodies that I can send in as well to you guys. So if you're interested in any or all of that, that'll be down in the description. But we are going to go ahead and start diving into your piles. Hello group 1. If you've decided to choose this dreamscape, then this is the pile for you. It's the deeper toned one. So I'm going to set that right down here so you can see it during your reading today. Feel free to get comfortable, really grab yourself a drink, calm down, because we're going to really take it slow today, and see what comes up for you for your dreams. But we're going to be using the charms, the watercolor affirmations. We're also going to be using 3 different oracle decks. We're going to be using the spellcasting oracle, the Sea Melodies deck, and the Secret Garden deck. And today's deck of choice is actually a new deck to me, so I might be checking in with the guidebook and everything and using my own intuition today, as we are going to be using the Cosmic Slumber Tarot, which I thought was very appropriate, seeing as it's about dreams. So I hope you guys enjoy, and if you're settled and ready to go, we're going to go ahead and start diving in. So what do you have coming in for your dreams, group 1? What symbolism, what energy is your dreams really giving off? And these can be dreams that are still yet to come in. So we have here the 7 of Cups, but they may also be dreams that you're having during the day too. So we're really looking into dreams on a subconscious level that is both during the day and at night. So there we are. We also have here both the 2 of Cups and the Moon. So that's really, really interesting that you have those 2 coming up together, especially you have so much emotion with the Cups and the Moon. So you're really exploring your emotions within your subconscious level, which a lot of people do. Yeah, I find that really interesting. So let's go ahead and start diving into your other messages here. So we're also going to look in here. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. We're going to start here first. So feel free to send your energy in. Group 1, what do you have coming in within your dreams? What messages, symbolism are coming in, and what are you exploring within your subconscious? Thoughts, affirmations you're telling yourself, scenarios that you're maybe experimenting with. We also have reconciliation, which is really interesting, seeing as you have the 2 of Cups. So it can be that you're reconnecting with someone within your dreamscapes, seeing how those scenarios may play out, which is really interesting as well, because that's like a bringing back together, which I think is, they just really, and it's right here too, that's really interesting. You're definitely connecting with someone within your subconscious mind, and diving into that. So that's really interesting. We're definitely going to see how that's resonating. So let's see some more information here for your group 1. So what hidden messages are lying within your dreams? What can we interpret from them? These can be, like I said, dreams that are also still yet to come. So it's not necessarily one specific dream, but you may have several that have been coming in for the last month that connect in some way. So we have optimism. After each rainstorm, there will be clear skies. So like I was thinking also, with reconciliation and reconnecting with someone, there may have just been a lot of emotions, especially if it was a past relationship, a past friendship, a divide that happened at some point. I feel like you're seeing what a scenario would maybe look like within your subconscious, to see what it would look like if the outcome maybe went a different way and was the more optimistic, clear sky perspective. But let's see what else is coming in here for you, group 1. So we also have retreat here. Never underestimate the healing power of a quiet moment. And then there's this little closed door, which I think is really interesting too. And we could look into that, especially if you have a lot of doorways within dreams, like going from one, like personally, when I have dreams, sometimes I open a door, and even though in real life it would like lead to the kitchen, it might lead to another place. So it might be interesting to look into your dreams that are coming in still, like within the next few nights, and see if there are any new opportunities behind doors, and see what that really sparks within you, because there's a lot of like between two things coming together, you know, that doorway, the arch, from the surface of the water down deep. So there's like something in the in-between space that is kind of still like you're reconnecting with it, and it's like almost like a portal for you to find new opportunities possibly with this person or just with a new optimistic viewpoint that you hadn't looked at before. So let's go ahead and grab your final message here, but do stay tuned because we will be going into the charms, which is really interesting, especially for dreamscapes. And I love to use the charms for dreams because they can really like bring out those small, not just small details, but just like the symbolism. And then I also forgot to mention, we're also going to look into a bunch of letter tiles as well. So stay tuned for those because we're going to first go through your cards here. But group one, what is coming in within your dreams that we still need to kind of look into and investigate? So we also have harvest your blessings. So that kind of gives me, again, more of that like looking at a new perspective on a viewpoint that you hadn't been looking in your conscious mind. So we have harvest your blessings. So let's go ahead and start diving into your pile here, group one. So like I said, I feel like you had in your conscious life, possibly a reconnection with someone, or you wish for a reconnection with someone, or just in general, your mind is exploring the idea of reconnecting with this person. Whomever is probably coming to your mind first is who this person is. Maybe you've been seeing them a lot in your dreams. Maybe it's someone you haven't yet met, but you are on your way to connecting with them, and on some sort of energetic level, you guys are connecting through your subconscious mind, which I think is really interesting. And that hasn't really come up very much, but it's definitely like happening here in like this triangle manner, which makes me think of a lot of balancing, like things are coming back into balance with them. And when I say retreat too, not just the door where, like I was saying, there's like this portal here, where when you two connect, there's like this fuller energy, this like harvesting your blessings energy, this connection of finally, you know what, I just noticed too with the harvest your blessings, if you kind of turn it upside down, it looks very similar to this moon in the water, like it's almost getting muddied up, like you're not seeing these blessings unless you are in a retreat situation where it's like you actually allow your mind to turn off. So when you're in these when you're in these subconscious levels where you're diving a lot deeper, I almost am seeing these cups more as like individual doorways and portals, and you can, every night you're kind of like reconnecting with different ones, you know, like this is Monday and this is Sunday, but they all have some sort of connection to them. They are connecting on some sort of level, and it almost looks like a question mark to me. It may be upside down for you. Yeah, it looks a bit like a question mark to me. So I feel like you guys, it's really important to start in general with dreams, to write down your dreams, write down the symbolism that starts to come in. Definitely look for doorways, look for if the moon pops up in your dream, and then also look for who you're connecting with within your dreams. Who are these people that you're connecting with, especially on a tangible level? Like we have something about hands, reconnecting with hands, reconnecting with and even if this isn't a person, maybe it's reconnecting with the idea and bringing a more optimistic light to something that you do where you work with your hands. So also looking maybe at hobbies that show up within your dreams as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be a person, but sometimes we personify people within our dreams as like especially if you have strangers in your dreams sometimes, or even people that you really look up to and they inspire you. Like say you always wanted to take up water skiing or something, and then you see someone in your dream constantly popping up that have something to do with water skiing. And then you're finally able to connect with them, or you're finally able to hug them under some sort of like interaction on a tangible level, that showing that you are able to reconnect with us in the physical world too. I hope I'm making sense with all of this. Sometimes it's hard to explain subconscious thoughts because that's why we look into them. But let me know if it's resonating so far. Some of the other things that I'm seeing come up here too, which I think is important, is just beyond like reconnecting with someone within your dreams and why you're reconnecting with them. Like look for those symbols and start kind of deciphering them. But with the Seven of Cups too, it also talks about, like, as you can see, they're diving under the water. So you can only, be in a dream so long. So that's why you kind of have this string of dreams that are connecting and creating a full picture for you. You're definitely not going to get it in one dream, like what this message is that's coming in. But the other thing too is when you dive beneath the water, you can only pick up one cup. or 1 or 2 cups, because you have to come back up for breath. You're not going to have enough time to be able to go into everything so deeply. So even just on a oracle level too, this is just telling me within your dreams that you are getting the message and the hint to prioritize certain things that are happening within your life. Because right now you may be trying to do it all at once. And if you try to do it all at once, that's just going to put a lot more pressure on you. And that may be why things aren't coming out as optimistic, because you're not taking time to retreat, taking time to slow down a little bit. Whatever you are connecting with, make it like a one-on-one thing. Put all of your energy into like maybe 1 or 2 baskets instead of 10, is another message that's really coming in strongly from your dreams as well. But with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and move on to your letter tiles and then your charms. This is where we're going to get like people's names, which may be really helpful with this 2 of Cups, because the 2 of Cups is such a loving card. So if this is like, I don't feel you're reconnecting with someone you don't like. This is reconnecting with a friend, with a family member, with an idea or a hobby that you really aspire for, but there's been so much pressure possibly, or a block between you and them. And in your subconscious mind, that's where you're going to be able to find them. So let's see what comes in here for you. Group 1. What do we have coming in for group 1 here? Group 1. Subconscious mind. Your dreams. Okay. So you first off got Q, which always makes me think you're asking questions and you're getting answers within your dreams. So especially if you guys you use your dreams as a manner to have an intention, like if you go to sleep with like an intention for some type of dream to come forward, you ask a question to your subconscious mind before you sleep. You're going to get some answers starting to come in, possibly something with B, U, M, N, I, and J coming in, possibly something on money, something having to do with yourself. When I comes up, it makes me think of, catching up with yourself. We do have man showing up, so it may be a more masculine figure that's manifesting within your dreams, whatever masculine means for you. That's coming up as well. And then we had band show up too. I've kind of got band show up with like a banjo vibe. Like maybe music is really important too. Like listen to the music that comes up within your dreams and see what those or maybe even like within your daydreams too. Like if you ever have songs that get constantly stuck in your head, how do those connect to your dreams? See the connection there. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and set these around the board. Let me know in the comments down below. Feel free to write these out on your phone and start playing around and seeing what comes up for you. I'd love to know in the comments down below your thoughts. But we're going to go ahead and move on to your charm. So feel free to send your energy in on through, and we're going to look. So what's manifesting within your dreams? What's coming in within your dreams? In your dreamscapes, group 1. Group 1. Okay, so I do think it's interesting that you have the X showing up here. So like I said, it can be reconnecting with an X, but seeing as it fell upside down and next to the crown energy center, I really do think that it's not really meant for you within this, because it's something higher than a person. Like I was saying, I almost feel like for some of you, if you're looking for love or you have that intention where you're asking that question about love or something like that, then there may be information coming in on that. But for some of you, it's about connecting to a higher form of love or a higher form of connection, depending on what that is for you. Maybe that's with spirit guides, with your cosmic team, with something else on a soul level. Something's coming in there. But beyond that, I'm going to go ahead and pick up some of these so we can really look into them. You got 2 keys. That's really interesting. I'm going to pick up the ones that fell upside down here. You have a lot that fell over here. So, yeah, let's go ahead and dive right in. So the first thing, like I said, you have two different keys that showed up here, and one of them fell over here next to commitment with a mother, possibly. So the figure could be more motherly. Like I said, we had masculine energy coming in before, but we also have the queen bee feminine energy, but they also can be worker bees too. But for me personally, this is a signifier for my mom within my charm set, so that may resonate for some of you. On top of that, like I said, you're committing with someone who is very hardworking within your dreams, or there's something that's being, like, your dreams are trying to push you towards reconnecting with this person because they are hardworking and they add a lot of logic and skill back into your life, because we also have the key to like opening something up with this person. So this can be opportunities that are coming in within your work life as well, or within your relationships with someone who is very hardworking and are very logical about the things that they do. So that could be some hints that are coming in. Like I said, it felt like there was some chemistry with this person, because we do have the key to your heart coming up here. So this is about more romantic relationships. So you may be learning about, like, maybe there's been some tension with a partner or with someone whom you really fancy or you really crush on or you really like, and there's just been this cycle going on within your guys' life, right? So we have this cycle of like negativity or just things that aren't really working, and it's about breaking that cycle, and you're doing that within your dreams. You're finding solutions to questions that you have with this person in your dreams. So really look to see what solutions are coming in, or scenarios that are coming in that are on a more positive level, and how you can use that information within your waking life, so it doesn't continue to be a pattern within your life with this patterns charm. The other things that we have coming in here is the little ladybug, and this is like an earring as well, which makes me think, like I said, with music, to be listening. There may be messages within your dreams having to do with music or within lyrics, even in your daydreams, that don't necessarily have to do with ladybugs, but can have to do with luck that's coming into your life. Lucky opportunities, they're like doorways and portals that are being found not only within like visibly seeing doorways within your dreams, but also the music can be like a doorway in and of itself. We also have the dark matter charms. This talks about things that are unknown. So like I said, you may be asking questions about this person, about this relationship, about reconnecting with a hobby or something that there's so much unknown with them. So that's why I was feeling like it almost felt more crush-like, or like you don't fully know who they are yet, or you haven't seen them in a long time. So there's a lot of unknown on how those conversations are going to go. It feels very confusing, and there's a lot of clarity to find within your dreams. I think that's the word I've been trying to look for this whole time, is a lot of clarity, finding ways to commit to a person, to really, like, this almost is like such an intimate card too, so it's like finding intimacy too within this relationship with someone, diving to a deeper level than you have previously before, if it was very surface, very shallow for a while. Because there's a lot of unknown still to find about your partner. There's a lot of questions still to ask. There's a lot of answers still to give. And seeing as you have that key to your heart and no lock showing up here, it's about that this is an open space for you to kind of fantasize, to play around and, see how those scenarios may come in. You also have the fluffy charm next to the water, so this is making me think of those cups again, but this also is a worry charm, right? Because it kind of looks like a little worry stone, so it feels like you're going to kind of polish out the worry in your life, is what I was immediately getting with these two charms. It just feels like you'd use it to polish something. So like I said, you're possibly trying to grab for too many cups, too many situations that you can pursue at this moment, and your dreams are really trying to connect you to one specific cup. They're kind of polishing it down, refining it down to one specific thing, and it may be even something that you've connected with in your past, because we do have the history channel charm, which represents something within your history, within your past, that you used to do, an old hobby. You're reconnecting with an old hobby, reconnecting, reconciliation with a partner, with a friend, with a family member, a mother, a father, something on that level. It's going to be different for each of you. I feel like that's why we're getting man, but then we're also getting mother. So it really depends on the amount of people that are watching this pile. So definitely take what resonates for you and what's really coming in within your own dreamscape narrative. But we do have the transformation charm. So this started out as a spoon, and then it became a necklace pendant, and now it is a charm within my collection. So it's about taking old energy that you used to have with a person, with someone in your life, within these hobbies, and you're almost transforming it. You're reusing that old energy and reforming it into something healthier, something more optimistic for you. So I do believe that is all of what we have here today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this and that it made sense, because it is hard talking about dreamscapes without sometimes it getting a little bit confusing possibly for you guys. So let me know how it resonated down below. Like I was saying, when you get time to rest and get to that retreat, that's where you're gonna start really looking for music, for doors, for synchronicities that come within that. I feel like your dreamscapes aren't necessarily trying to give you a ton of messages, and they're more trying to allow you space to play around with different scenarios with this person. Also, on a more oracle level though, the messages that are coming in are refining what you want within your waking life, because you're trying to grab for just a little bit too much. So I do hope this resonated for you guys. Please let me know in the comments down below how this resonated, and give this video a like. It really does help this channel continue to grow, and I appreciate it so much. So thank you to those of you who have watched all the way to the end. Feel free to watch the other piles too if you're curious, or to check out other videos on this channel. But with all of that said, if you are interested in joining in on this beautiful Kindred Spirit family, and you're curious to see more of the videos and readings that I put out, feel free to subscribe and join this beautiful community, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hello group 2, if you've decided to choose this dreamscape, it's more of the lighter tone of the 3, then this is the pile for you. We're going to be looking into what your dreams are trying to tell you. We're going to really slow down, or I'm going to try to slow down and really look into your messages with a closer eye, see what comes in within your subconscious. This is definitely a reading where your intuition can be totally involved with me. We're going to really play around with what comes in. So today we're going to be using the charms, the watercolor affirmations. We're also going to be using the letter tiles that I have in here too, to get names, dates, places. The oracle decks that we're using today is the Secret Garden Oracle, the Sea Melodies Oracle, and the Spell Casting Oracle here today. And then we're also using, for the first time, so I might be checking in with the guidebook for this specific deck, because I'm still getting used to it, and I think that this is a great time to practice with it with you guys. And I absolutely love it, and it is the Cosmic Slumber Tarot. So I'm really excited to start looking into these messages with you. And yeah, let's go ahead and get settled, grab some tea, really sit with me, meditate with me within this, and see what comes through for you. Group 2 here. Group 2, what do you have coming in within your dreams? Different people, places, symbolism that we can look into. And what are your dreams trying to tell you? And these could be dreams that are still yet to come for you, like within the next month. Really pay attention to your dreams, because I think that that's going to be really important. So we have here the 5 of Cups. But beyond the dreams that are still yet to come, there's also the dreams that you've had recently. And I'm sure everyone's probably thinking about one specific dream, so feel free to send that energy through. It'll make this more accurate. But here we go, group 2. So we also have Strength coming in here. I love this Strength card. It has such pretty colors. This whole deck reminds me of like a really interesting coloring book. Like you wouldn't always choose these colors together. So definitely use the colors, use the different symbols that you see coming through. Definitely with Lion, you think of courage, you think of strength, but it may be different for each of you. So really tap into your own intuition as well within this reading and see what comes through for you. I think every reading always does better when It's sort of a conversation between the both of us and the cards. So let's see what comes in. Group two. What do you have coming in within your dreams that they're trying to tell you? So we also have the Queen of Swords. So this could be a person that is showing up within your dreams, possibly someone more feminine, but it doesn't have to be. It could just be the energy that comes forth between this Queen of Swords and you. But we're going to go ahead and start looking into your other messages here. So we're going to look here first with the Spellcasting Oracle. I love the imagery of this deck as well, and I feel like these two are already working together really awesome. Let's see what's happening with this card here. Okay, what a beautiful card. So we have forgiveness. This is definitely something that shows up within my own dreams as well. And for a lot of people that I know, forgiveness is such a hard thing to swallow sometimes. And it's hard not only to forgive yourself, but to forgive others, situations, different events. And so this is your time, this is your space that you can feel really safe to look within. And find forgiveness possibly with this person or forgiving yourself. Sometimes that takes a lot of courage. So that's coming in too. So, that one came out immediately. Okay, so we have here prudence. And it says, don't be lured by the siren's song. So there maybe was a falling out, a difficult situation, seeing as we had that Five of Cups that can talk about a loss, a falling out with someone, a moving away from someone, or a difficult situation where you don't feel emotionally fulfilled with someone or with something. And so with prudence coming in, it's about being discerning and discerning who should be in your space and who shouldn't. And I think that you're almost getting like a warning, not really a warning, but more so that you're getting a lot of symbols that are coming in of people you should maybe look out for that are like, can you trust them not to bite your hand? Can you trust them they're not luring you into something? And especially since we have the Queen of Swords here and they have like these eyes kind of hiding behind them, it's making me think that this Queen of Swords maybe isn't like a great figure for you in your life right now, or they're showing up within your dreams as a manifestation of something within your life. It doesn't always have to be a person, but they could be symbolizing something that's happening within your life, possibly having to do with logic, having to do with justice, having to do with deeper communication. And so it can also just have to do with certain energies that in your life, and they're being personified into a person within your dream. I hope that makes sense. But also just in general with Siren Song, that makes me think of music showing up within your dreams and daydreams. That is something that comes up a lot for us within our subconscious. You'll start hearing a certain song showing up either in your dreams or in, your daydream moments, or like that song that repeats in your head. Like, what is that trying to tell you? And does it have something to do with this Queen of Swords? That's something you might want to ask yourself. So we have here joy. Make time for the little things today. So this can talk about finding joy within your dreams, experimenting with the idea of joy. I think that's really interesting as well. I almost feel like we should pull you one more here. But I do like that idea, especially since you have that Five of Cups, that like uncertainty. So let's see if anything else comes in here. So we also have here wallflower. Look for the crack in the concrete to find your way out. That's what's great about dreams, right? They almost are that crack, that little moment where you can start to see, I feel like a subconscious mind. And I said this not too long ago in one of my readings, but like an iceberg, right? You only see the really tip of it, but it's actually like 90% of it's in the water. That's kind of our subconscious thoughts. So this is you getting into to tap into this. So maybe you don't feel on the surface you're very optimistic, you've got a lot of joy going on in your life right now, but there's something deeper that your brain is almost kind of like warning you of, your intuition is playing around with and is trying to kind of like let you know that you're kind of being lured towards something that possibly wasn't good for you in the past, and you're ready to forgive yourself and move from that, and you're not addressing it in real life or in conscious life. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pull your final one here, and then we're going to dive even deeper into these cards. But do stay tuned later on in the reading, because we're going to go into the letter tiles, or we're going to get names, dates, places, and all of that jazz. And then we're also going to look into the charms, which I'm really excited about. Personally, I love to use the charms to interpret dreams for myself, because they have like a lot more symbolism and smaller details that you can really pick up on, because they have like everyday objects and stuff in here, and I always think that it really works well for these readings. So definitely let me know how the charms work for you. But first we're going to go ahead and dive into your cards. We're going to get your final one here with an affirmation for group 2. What is an affirmation that group 2 needs to know for their subconscious mind? What do they still need to dive into? What do their dreams mean? What hidden meanings are there? So you've got like a ton of them here. So I'm going to share them all with you and we'll see how they all resonate. I may not go into each of them, but they may, just because this is pile number 2, I feel like we tend to get a lot more people watching this pile. But we have progress, not perfection. We also have here 2 sides to every coin. And then there is shoot for the stars. And then lastly here, head in the clouds. So definitely with shoot for the stars and head in the clouds, that's giving me like almost a celestial vibe, like especially if some of you are star seeds, maybe connecting with your family in that way. And that definitely is a more specific message to some of you. With 2 sides of every coin, that came up a bit in pile number 1, something about a bridging of 2 sides. So definitely if that is resonating really deeply, check out pile number 1. I think that there's going to be a lot of nuggets of information there for you. But the one that's coming in most strongly for your pile, and was actually the one on top, was progress, not perfection. So this is about really, I feel like especially with the 5 of Cups, and I'll pull this one up real quick. So with the 5 of Cups, it does talk about, like you see, they're looking for something, like they're looking for all this perfectionism. But as you can see, there isn't a perfect sunny day. Sometimes it's cloudy, sometimes a storm rolls in, sometimes things happen that weren't meant to happen. And there's these stormy seas, right? So there's a lot of emotion welling up within this card. And I almost feel like you're trying to keep things perfect, trying to keep things really grounded, really fine in your everyday life. And maybe you consciously feel that way. But there are things that are showing up in your dreams that maybe are enticing you, or you're playing around and waddling with wading within these waters to see what is still needing to be forgiven, what is still kind of being lured for you, what can you still be shooting for within your goals that you haven't in a while, because in your waking life you're kind of like, it's fine, everything's good, and you're making time for the joyful things, and that's awesome. But your dreams are trying to relay to you that there may be someone kind of ready to bite your hand, and you're not noticing it. And I think that that's what they really want you to know, that there's something there that you need to be a little wary of, not that you have to be, that you can't interact with this person or this energy, but that it is kind of sucking some of the fun out of your life, and you're just not seeing it. And obviously there's 2 sides to every coin. Like they say here, there's 2 sides to every story. They're not perfect either. You're not perfect either. And I'm not placing blame on either side, because we do have forgiveness here. I do think that your dreams are trying to tell you that you should find forgiveness within this person if they do accidentally bite. It may have been an accident. It may be something that's coming because you're intuitively feeling like maybe you're just not meant to be working with them right now. Maybe this isn't the time. These are things that you should ask yourself, really kind of play around with within your dreams. Maybe make an intention for your dreams to try to figure out what this is before you fall asleep. Like, make that intention to try to figure out what this is about. But with the Queen of Swords talks about someone who they're very intelligent. They are very on top of their stuff, but they are also they're not always emotionally receptive. They're not good at seeing other people's emotions, and they're not very good at explaining their own. They have kind of Capricorn energy to them, or someone who's just a little shielded within their emotions on an emotional landscape, if like you have a Capricorn moon. But then you also have within this, like I said, they're not going to just sugarcoat things in your life, right? They're going to tell you off. They're going to place down their boundaries. They're going to really express themselves and communicate, sometimes in a cunning kind of way, like a little cutthroat, and it can be a little bit harder to swallow for some people, and some people maybe not. The other things too that are coming in within this energy, like I said, it may not be a person, but someone that's personified within your dreams, some sort of energy. So maybe something having to do with the hobby of writing, within education, something that you just are, there's something lurking there having to do with those kinds of energies, writing, education, within maybe getting a degree or some sort of learning that's happening there. Also within justice too, it gives me kind of a justice feeling. So you're being kind of lured. But I do think if you really communicate to this person, really make it known that and now in your waking life, make it known to this person that maybe these behaviors aren't okay, or just that there's a warning to be ready for it in the future, because maybe your intuition is already kind of tapped into it. That's where you get look for the crack in the concrete for your way out. You're getting answers to this problem. You're getting answers where maybe it's because you need to distance yourself from this person or this energy, distance yourself from school or schoolwork, or distance yourself from this specific thing that you're heading into. Because I just don't think that it's possibly a situation that's going to be the best for you, that it's causing a bit more harm than is needed. So don't be lured by it. Let's go ahead and move on to the rest of the reading here with the charms and the letter tiles, and see what else comes in here for you, group 2. You had a lot of cards, so it took me a little bit longer, so we're going to go ahead and start diving into these. So we're looking for names, dates, and places within your readings and see what that has to do. Or within your dreams, rather. So group 2, who's manifesting within your dreams? What kinds of energy? Maybe names to this Queen of Swords. Let's see, group 2. You got aha, which makes me think of laughing, being more joyous, finding more joy in your life. Like we had that joy come in, but we do have ha, which is almost making me think maybe don't take your dreams necessarily, not that you shouldn't take them seriously, but that it almost possibly is making things more extreme in your dreams as a warning, but see how it really matters in your waking life. We do have L and O. I did see la and ha, so it's again making me think of making sure that you're listening to the music and sounds that are coming in, and what the auditory messages that are coming in within your dreams, not just what you're seeing, but the auditory messages. We also have S and O and A and T. So like I said, this could be initials, this could be places. Definitely play around with these letters and see what comes in for you. Scramble them up even if you need to. We have host showing up here. So for me, host can mean that you are, maybe this is a manifestation of yourself, is what I'm getting here that's coming up. And we've got la again. So host is making me think that this could be a manifestation of yourself. What are you doing right now that maybe is going to bite you in the butt later, you know what I mean? I just think that also can be yourself being reflected within your dreams. So that's kind of a new information that we weren't getting before. So definitely see if that resonates for you, especially if you weren't sure who this person was, or were kind of confused about it. That may be what you should look into, a reflection of yourself. I also see lost here. So again, you're finding answers within your dream, especially since we have A showing up twice. You're finding answers. Shooting for the stars was popping up again for me with something with that. So if there's stars or some sort of guidance that's coming in having to do with constellations that are showing up in your dream, or something like that having to do with stars and celestial bodies, look into that information and see what sparks your intuition at that time, especially if numbers come in. See maybe if astrology is showing up there. But I'm going to go ahead and move on to the rest of your charms here. Feel free to write these down within a journal, within your phone, write them on a piece of paper and rip them up and scramble them and see what comes up. I'd love to know what else came in for you intuitively within this down in the comments below. I'm always curious, but let's go ahead and do your charms. Group 2. What's coming in within your charms here for symbolism within your dreams? What is hidden? What hidden meanings are coming in? What do they mean? Group 2. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in here and we'll start sorting through some of these charms. So, okay, these ones fell upside down, so I'm going to pick some of these up and sort them out, see what's coming in here. All right. Ooh, okay, so we have a Y showing up here, so that may be a person that that Queen of Swords has to do with. I'm going to zoom you in just a smidge more, actually. So like I was saying, we do have the letter Y showing up, so this may have to do with, again, asking questions. A Y also can represent like going two separate ways. So with forgiveness, like I said, you might be going in a separate way from this person because you've forgiven them, or maybe you're forgiving a little bit too easily and that they don't really deserve it. So that can represent different sides of the coin there. We do have Y, so that could be a person's name. We have a new moon, which represents a fresh new start. This is actually a full moon. So we had a full moon here. Oh my goodness, words. A new moon here and a full moon here. And so the full moon actually is when things are at the highest for you within your emotions. So a full moon maybe is the time to find some of these answers to your dreams. So especially dreams that you're having on a full moon, that may be how these are resonating. We do have almost that 5 of Cups again showing up here with this charm. Like I said, there's like emotional waters you haven't really allowed yourself to reflect on. So especially if host represented something for you, this is you having to almost, this is giving me like, I know Harry Potter can be a bit controversial these days, but it's giving me like that Harry Potter feeling of where you would take like a memory out of your head, but you can revisit them. I feel like each of these cups are like you're almost revisiting a past conversation with yourself or with someone or this energy, depending on how it resonated for you, where you're kind of like calming back down those waters, finding forgiveness within yourself within these waters that you haven't gotten to really look into. So we also have here the cycles charm. So these are things, this may even be a dream that's happened more than once, and you're not breaking the cycle of these dreams. They keep coming up because you keep being lured to this person or to these past things you haven't found either forgiveness or you haven't resolved the situation because you're still being lured, right? We have right in the middle of that the music note, possibly being lured towards someone you really love, or because you really love them and there's all this emotion tied to them. It's very difficult when you know someone for a very long time to kind of resolve things, or that you keep letting things happen, or it's really hard to put up those boundaries so they don't, bite back, or even boundaries with yourself. But there is a cycle that is ready to be broken there, to be that song to end. Some of the other charms that I'm seeing here, we have temporary energy. So like I said, this is a cycle that's been happening for quite a while, but you're ready to kind of like stop, let it end. We're ready to just take the paperclip out of the picture. We also have the heart showing up here with the transformation charm. So again, seeing as they're kind of pointing towards here, almost in a line, it's making me think that your heart is being kind of twisted. It's being, you have something under here. But you have, there's still transformation that needs to happen here. I almost feel like what I'm getting is like you're almost putting yourself in a box for this person or for your past self because they're limiting you, because they are kind of putting you in a box or squaring you in or something like that. That's what I'm getting here, because we have the transformation charm, and with it you can see there's a smaller butterfly. Like you're almost like kind of squashing some of the transformation that's still yet to come, especially things to do with your creative side or your sensual side. We have the brother's charm. So this can be that it represents a brother, but it also represents a situation that's being twisted. It makes me think of like a wave, right? Those waters that we saw in that 5 of Cups card, and that things are just starting to happen a lot faster within those waves, within those emotions. So those emotions are getting more riled up the more that you're not resolving the issue. This may involve more than one person, which is probably why we're getting so many different types of people showing up here, whether it's you or an energy, or within this Queen of Swords as if someone else that's actually physically in your life. There could be multiple angles. It could be that it's coming from multiple levels. We also have the travel charm coming up next to release and the temporary energy, and kind of almost pointing at this Five of Cups. So it may be that you're visiting places within your dreams that you haven't been able to travel to because of possibly this last year that we've gone through and currently are still going through. For the majority of us, that travel's been sort of off the table. So there are temporary changes that are happening within that, which could be really interesting too. And maybe you're even visiting those places within your dreams. And the last charms that I have here are the take the road less traveled by charm, right? So it's like you're diverging on a new path. Which I think only comes from when you break that cycle and when you allow yourself to transform. And then we also have the little trees charm. And in case this resonates, we have since 1952. So maybe those numbers represent something for you or that date, but we do have the little trees charm. And this can represent finding community within a forest, within, a connection with someone. But this also does talk about freshening up your space too, and seeing as you had it come next to the travel charm. So like I said, sometimes we can travel in our dreams, and maybe you're being kind of awakened to different places that you can now travel because maybe things are opening up for you around where you live. But there is something about refreshing your space and freshening things back up, ready for a fresh start, because this old cycle isn't working for you anymore. But with all of that said, group 2, I hope this resonated for you. I know sometimes dreams can be all over the place, and especially with group 2, I know a lot of you tend to choose this pile, just in general, the pile that's in the middle. So if this resonated, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts and have a conversation there. Also, please be sure to give this video a like if you really did like it. I always am curious, and I really do appreciate the support. It's really helpful. And lastly, if you are new to the channel and you want to be a part of this community or just see what this channel is about, I do lots of other readings that you can check out on my channel that are monthly, that are timeless, and also ones that are just kind of fun magical videos or ones on your 2-week ahead reading. So with all of that said, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hello group 3, if you've decided to choose the kind of mid-toned dreamscape here, then this is the pile for you. I'm going to go ahead and set that down right here for you so you can see it during your reading today, as we are going to explore what meanings, hidden meanings, and feelings that are coming up in your dreams, both in symbolism, the oracle, messages that are coming through, and things that you should really start looking into as well, because this is definitely going to be a conversation between not only the cards and me speaking to you, but really take some time to relax here with me and see what comes up for you as well. Definitely see what symbolism is coming in, and it's going to resonate different for each of you. So we're going to be using the charms, the watercolor affirmations. We're also going to be using the letter tiles today to see names and places and dates and all that fun jazz. We're also going to be using the spellcasting oracle, the secret garden oracle, and the sea melodies oracle. And today's deck of choice, I'm still getting used to this deck, so I might be taking some time in between to really inspect the cards and my intuition with them, because it is a new deck to me, but I'm really excited to use it here today because it is the Cosmic Slumber Tarot, and I absolutely love it. So I hope you guys love it here with me today as well. Let me know in the comments if you really dig this deck as much as I do. But we're going to be looking into your dreams. So let's see, group 3. We already have ones falling here. So you have 2 different ones that fell right away. We have here the Ace of Swords showing up right there in the, I just love this card. Look at how absolutely stunning this card is. And just, it's about a fresh new start. And then you have all these beautiful pink clouds, almost like a burst of color. We also have the Hierophant showing up here. It's also one of my favorite cards in terms of the perspective. I think that that's really interesting, and we'll dive into that in a moment. But let's see what else is coming in here. So, wow, your group is so fast. Okay, so you also have the Devil showing up here. So this card I also love. I feel like I'm going to say that with all of them because it's so beautiful. But we do have a lot of pink showing up here. So whether or not pink means something to you, pink within your subconscious mind, but we do have a lot of pink. So we have the Devil, the Hierophant, and the Ace of Swords. Let's see what else is coming in, and feel free to send your energy, especially if you have a specific dream in mind. But we are looking into more than one kind of dream. So this could be dreams that are still yet to come in that we're looking into within the next month. That's the intention for this reading. But it can also be dreams that you've had recently that are how they're aligning, how they're meeting up. Not just one dream, but how multiple dreams are. So let's see what's coming in for you, group 3. Okay. So we also have boundaries. What a great card, especially with that Devil's card. It's almost like you're taking something back, right? Like you're like informing yourself, you're ready to like use this sword. Ooh, I just got like such empowerment for you guys in your dreams. That's awesome. And then the other card that was sticking out here, let's see what that is. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you also have passion. So you're like reconnecting with maybe even your sensual side. That's so cool. Oh, I just love those two cards together. So much freedom, so much empowerment, so much like you're sticking it to other people and being like, this is my line, this is my boundary, and I'm not letting you like pass it anymore. And maybe even boundaries within yourself, like within your own self-care routine, and making those boundaries for yourself. Oh, so exciting. So let's see what else is coming in. Your guys' pile is giving me like such chills. So let's see what else is coming in for you, group 3. Group 3, within your dreams. What do your dreams truly mean here? So we have serenity. Value quiet days with only the rustling of leaves breaking the silence. And the leaves are almost giving me like a setting, right? So the maybe dreams that have a lot to do with the fall, about release, about releasing something. Which I was already kind of getting with the Devil's card. But let's see what else here. So group 3. Again, feel free to send your energy through, your intentions for this reading, so that it can be better and more useful for you. So we also have here, listen. Ooh, interesting. The secrets of the sea become apparent when we listen to the sound within the shells. Very interesting. I love that card. So it's like you're finally listening to yourself. I almost feel like you know how sometimes you have dreams that are all about like a spirit guide coming in and talking to you, or like these bigger like ethereal messages. I feel like yours is very grounded in yourself. Like you're finally listening to yourself within your dreams, or there's some hidden meaning that you are not confronting in your waking life, but it's coming in so strongly here. And I feel like there's so much wisdom that your own higher self is trying to convey to you. So I'm so excited. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move to your final card here, and we're going to really dive into your reading. But we're going to look into your affirmation, but do stay tuned later for the different letter tiles, because that's where we're going to get names, dates, places, all that kind of fun jazz. And then with the charms, I'm really excited today too, because so far they've been giving us a lot of symbolism, hidden meanings, that you can really dive into with your own intuition, especially since charms can have such personal messages to each of you, where one charm may seem very like intuitive to me, but you guys will message me later and be like, wow, that charm like hit me so hard. So I'm really curious how they hit you guys for this one. But let's see, group 3 here. What do you have coming in within your dreams, and what do they mean? What are they trying to tell you? Group 3. Ooh, here it is. So we have, oh, this is so good. All you desire is on the other side of fear. It's almost like you're facing your fears, facing your demons, facing yourself within these dreams, almost a shadow self too. And it's like your higher self is showing you how you can get there. That's so beautiful. Okay, so we have all you desires on the other side of fear. All right, so let's go ahead and start diving into your piles here at group 3. So like I said, there is so much wisdom to find within your dreams, so much healing and empowerment. Like you're ready to just killing it, right? You're ready to just really improve your life, and I'm really excited for it. At least your dreams are really pushing you there. They're really kind of pushing your boundaries of your comfort zones and moving past them, because here right at the center of it all we have, or not at the center necessarily, but we have the devil showing up here. And devil in this sense is telling me either someone in your past, but honestly I'm really not getting that. I'm getting more so of your own personal struggles, your own personal demons, and how you're coping with them, right? Because the devil can talk about, like, as you can see, they have all these little coins that are chilling there in front of their face, and this is you maybe turning towards coping mechanisms that are kind of shallow, that aren't really working for you, or they worked for you in the past, but they don't currently work for you anymore. And this is you trying to reflect on them within your dreams. So what are you coping with within your dreams? Maybe that's money. Maybe that's clinging to an old relationship or a job. Maybe that's clinging towards something really tangible in your life. Maybe that's clinging towards passion with another person and whether or not that's still healthy for you. Definitely take some time to really dive into this, because we do have the moon here, so it's about diving into your intuition with this, and not anxiety like responses, but more so your intuition, because your dreams are going to show you more of the scenarios of these coping mechanisms and how they are helping you and how they are hindering you. So definitely start looking into that, because there's a lot of learning still to be gained there, right? Because we do have the Hierophant, and I love this card because it shows that it's not necessarily like one figure that tells us all. Like, it's not like some really big figure that's like, this is the key to life, right? This is the Hierophant. It's talking about looking at your own situations, because they are a part of you, right? This is your own guiding light, your own higher self speaking almost to yourself within your dreamscape. So what is showing up? What are the symbols that are showing up within your dreamscapes that you can start diving into? Maybe the weather is really important, because we do have weather showing up here. And then we also had the leaves, right, that I talked about with Serenity. So it's almost like within the weather, maybe if the weather's really rough and like there's stormy seas and you've got all this rain, and then you have those coping mechanisms happening within those scenes within your dream, but then later the sun comes out, later things sort of clear up. Why did things change? You know, what is your brain trying to show you a narrative of, and what's this new coping mechanism that you kind of replaced with the old one? Definitely not going cold turkey, because that never helps, but rather something that's more healthy for you, and works better for you at this time. So I really think your dreams are being manifested through weather, and then also with listen, and this has happened in all three piles, but we do have the shell, and it's talking to you about listening to not only your intuition, but also to yourself. But we have like songs and music. So is there a lot of music that's happening within your dreams, especially within your daydreams and within your waking life? I think that's actually the most important for you. And if they come into your dreams. So say you're constantly listening to a song, or constantly listening to a specific poem or something like that, and it starts showing up in your dreams and those certain like phrases. Why are they showing up? Because they're really there to teach you something about how you can move forward past this devil energy. The other thing we have here is the Ace of Swords. And what I love about the Ace of Swords, right? Like, they have all this chaos kind of happening around them, but yet they still find time to find a new beginning. It's kind of like where people like, there's never a perfect time to begin, because sometimes, you know, you don't have enough money yet, or sometimes you have fear still, or sometimes there's these blockages and these things. But sometimes it's about just having that 20 seconds of insane bravery and courage, and just picking up this sword, right? Pulling it out of the stone and just going for it. Because right now, there may be a lot of chaos around you. You may feel like there's a lot of chaos, that you can't begin a new project or begin working on yourself. But within your dreams, like I said, they're showcasing within the weather a lot of hidden, deeper messages. So definitely look into the weather that's happening within your dreams and the symbolism of that, because I think that's going to be really important for you, and how this new beginning can begin, and maybe timing as well. And by new beginning, I'm talking about like especially because it's the swords, it can be talking about a communication with someone new. But honestly, it's telling me, like, it's really connecting me to this boundaries card. So let's talk about these two here. So we have passion and boundaries. So this can be that you've had a past relationship with someone who didn't understand your boundaries, especially having to do with your passions within your dreams or within your body. So this is about finding and reconnecting with those boundaries, really seeking those out. And I think your body not just your body, like your higher self is trying to show you these boundaries that you have been kind of missing out on, and I think they're going to be really important for you. So maybe boundaries are coming in through these new coping mechanisms that you're having. So for me, like, say, I feel like when I'm trying to explain coping mechanisms, they could be literally anything for someone. But sometimes we had a coping mechanism, it worked really well for a couple of months, but then doesn't really work for us anymore. So it's about replacing these mechanisms that we've kind of begun, these habits that we've begun to have, and we call them bad habits, right? But sometimes you can't just go cold turkey. You can't just be like, okay, this isn't good for me anymore, so I'm just going to stop doing it. You need to find something that you're passionate about, that you really enjoy, that is going to be healthier for you, maybe something for self-care, to replace it with, that gives you that same cope that you had before, but then previously didn't work anymore. I hope that made sense. But we're going to go ahead and move on to your charms and your letter tiles and see what else comes in. Let me know how this is resonating so far, if you're really feeling it, if there's certain things that you're still curious about. Always curious your guys' thoughts in the comments down below, maybe the colors, specific weather that's been showing up. We're going to start diving into some of that here with the letter tiles, so let's go ahead and begin there. Group 3 your dreams. Dreams for group 3. Okay. So the letters that came up first here, we have T, C, D, L, and E. I see let. We also have Y, Z, Q, J, and I. Seeing as we have the Q showing up here, this talks about you're asking questions, and questions about yourself possibly with the I here, which had come in quite a lot, right? Like I said, this isn't like about you reconnecting with an old love or reconnecting with something else. Like, this reading is mostly about empowering yourself through these changes that you're making within your dreams and how you can start bringing those changes into your waking life. So I also saw let, right? Almost like you're ready to let go of something, but you're not necessarily fully there. And then we also have J, so it's giving me like jet as well, like you're ready to jet somewhere, maybe something having to do with travel, so possibly looking into the scenes of your dreams as well, like I was saying with weather, but also maybe different specific places that you're going within your dreams can be an indication of how you're feeling too, right? They're not just there for no reason. There's a lot of messages to be hidden there. And then I also see dice. So maybe numbers are also going to be really important, especially numbers from 1 to 6. That can be telling you within how many months these changes may start to come in for you. But I'm going to go ahead and move on to your letter tiles, to your charms. We can start really diving into more of those subconscious thoughts and what maybe these coping mechanisms are for you. But within these, feel free to scramble them up and let me know in the comments down below what comes up for you. But we're going to go ahead and move on to your charms. So group 3, we're looking for any information, energy, insights, or guidance having to do with your dreams. Group 3, what do they mean? Oh my goodness, I gave you guys so many, so I may not talk about every single one, and mostly just the ones that are really sparking out to me. But as always, I feel free to see what comes in for you, and what they mean for each of you. Wow, you guys have so much here. So we have more letters coming in case you guys wrote any of these down. We have R and E. We also have the numbers 10 and 6, so maybe 16 is really important to you, or 610 or something like that, 106. See what comes in for you for those. Okay. All right. So we have quite a few messages of like freedom, which is really, really neat. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in so you can actually see what's going on here, and we'll start diving into them. So we have a lot of symbolism here that's coming in within the different charms. We have different pets showing up. So we have pets showing up here. We have a reindeer. We have a bird. A reindeer and a bird are both something that can fly, right, if you give it the opportunity. And when it's not feeling chained down, because we do have the self-care, but it's like stuck. It's almost got like a loop stuck in it, so it's like it's being chained down, held down in your waking life, and you're actually able to see more of that freedom come in, possibly especially if something having to do with religion. If you had a lot of religious beliefs that were holding you back from your passions, toward your sensuality, trying to find freedom there, that could be a really beautiful escape for you to experiment and play around with, because you may have been following in someone's footsteps, following with a specific kind of idea with 16 here, because we also have like a lot of opening up energy, right? Because we have the freedom coming in with the bird, but then and the reindeer, even like believing in yourself that you can give the magic to fly, right? By bringing in those boundaries and rising yourself up from like these depths. But we also have the tab here, and then more self-care charms and stuff, and we even have this charm too here, which is about, you know, bridging the gap or opening something up, opening yourself up. And then the tab is about like opening and letting something fizz out that's been kind of put under pressure for such a long time. So it's really about you kind of playing around with the idea of having more freedom with your passions, with these ideas that you've had, almost putting power back to yourself, right? Taking something that you felt disempowered in and creating power in it through symbolism. That's so beautiful. I do see also here with the space charm, this is about finding space too, allowing yourself the space to do that, especially away from things that are commitments, because we do have the charm of things feeling a little bit like hazy, and that's about your commitment. So it's time to commit to yourself. That's what I'm getting mostly here. Not commit to other people, maybe not that you don't have to have partnerships and things like that, but this is really a journey within yourself, of committing back to yourself, of your needs, your cares, your thoughts, because you've been kind of chained down for so long, maybe because of a person or just because of your own personal self-limiting beliefs about self-love, about the energy that you can have for yourself, because you have also the gambling chip charm here, the charm of feeling kind of like disempowered, and then you have empowerment coming back in. So it's like you've almost been gambling with yourself by using other coping mechanisms, that you've been like using money or using passion, using love, and really it's about you just been kind of hiding from yourself. It was just a way to not have to confront yourself, and this is the time to do that within your dreams, to play around with that freedom that it gives you, or just to start bringing that freedom into your waking life, where you've been kind of chained down and things didn't feel as flexible as they could be. Some of the other final charms you have here are the ladybugs. That may be another specific symbol that's coming in for you. And then we also have these two charms here. We have the charm of like, this one definitely represents like the key to your heart, but it's more so like little crushes or smaller things. And then we have the Cinderella charm of finding the perfect fit. So this is about finding, like with those boundaries too, is having boundaries with the people that you want to start bringing into your life, right? So in your dreams, you might be experimenting with not only who you want to be and the empowerment that you're bringing to yourself, but so much so that you don't just let anyone in your circle anymore. You're letting people who really benefit you, and that you're only giving that key to the people who really fit into that idea, to those boundaries. So I think that's super cool that that's coming up within your dreams and that symbolism. But with all of that said, group 3, feel free to take some time and really pause here, see what comes in, because I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. Maybe certain ones mean different things for you, and I think that's perfectly valid, and I actually really encourage you guys to look into these, especially to see what comes in within your dreams. But I'm going to go ahead and end that here for you all. I hope this was helpful for you and that you really did enjoy it. Let me know in the comments down below anything having to do with the dream, having to do with the symbols that are coming in, and this may even start coming in within your dreams now that you've had this reading, sometimes those symbols will start to come in. So definitely look into weather within the landscapes, and know that you can always reinvent yourself at any time, that you're always able to start bringing in this energy of empowerment, of allowing yourself freedom to explore and to play, and also create boundaries with those around you and within yourself. So with all of that said, let me know in the comments down below your thoughts. Also, please be sure to give this video a like if you really did like it. It helps this channel continue to grow so much, and I really do appreciate the support. And lastly, if you are new to the channel and this is one of your very first readings here with me, a huge welcome to you guys. If you want to be a part of this Kindred Spirit community and see the monthly, timeless, and 2-week readings that I do and other magical content, then feel free to have a little look-see on my channel and subscribe if you'd like to. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Happy dreams. Bye.